Hello yogis, let's now start with the mountain pose. So just to settle in the body, having the feet together, aim to spread the toes a little bit and allow yourself to be as tall as a mountain. The arms down along the sides of the body, palms facing into the body, lifting up through the front of the chest as if you want to bring the shoulder blades together. Allow yourself to feel that stillness to begin with. Then from here, let's work with the joint movement. So it's aiming to work all the joints, the toes and even the fingers. So start with just softening the feet, using your left foot, just starting with walking on the ball of the feet. Try not to look down as I've done. And then rolling the toes over. So you work the front of them. Now if you have arthritis in the feet, just work as much as you can. And then just changing over to the right foot, working across the ball of the foot, and then rolling over on the front of the toes. Then from there, give a shake out with the ankle, really let it go loose, even the whole of the leg. Swapping over to the right. Good balancing at the moment. So going from one to the other. Then we do a patella little massage, so grab hold of them, give them a good movement if you can. Then from there, pigeon toe the feet a little, bring the knees together, circle around to the right. Now normally we would do at least 21 of these, but we're cutting down in time today, so you have a break, and my students behind me also have a break. Then stretching up again, give another shake out to loosen up. There's a lot of shaking in yoga, a lot of loosening up. Then have the feet comfortably parted, the hands on the waist, and let's work with circulating the hips so we don't go outside the perimeter of the outside of the feet. So it's really starting to feel that you slow down a little bit, beginning to feel the alignment up through the spine. Then the opposite way. Feel circling. And then balancing on your right foot, come up on the ball of the left and work with a hip lift. I often say this is a bit of a Marilyn Monroe preparation, but a lot of my students might be too young. So from one side to the other, so now we're getting into the lumbar area, working with the pelvis. And then release, shaking out, softening again, keeping the feet hip width wide. Now take the arms up to shoulder height. Let the arms drop as you just allow the knees just to bend when the arms are dropping down. This is a strong out breath, a quiet in breath. And releasing again, just softening And now to work with some circulating, so we're twisting the spine, starting off softly. Then lifting the arms up a little bit more, watch the head, watching the hands. Oh, the head watching the hands. So the eyes get a bit of an exercise, just taking them above the shoulders, no more. Then coming back down, keeping the arms stretched out. Unless you don't have space, then you bend the elbows. Coming back into the mountain pose, just to equalise the body, bringing the stance back to the mountain pose. From here, turn the palms out. If you need to, just part the feet a little bit for balance. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the palms together if you can. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. One more. And exhale, down. Then part the feet a little bit more. This time, if you like, and you've got a shoulder problem, you bring your hands onto the waist. And you bow forward as far as you can go, keeping the lift up through the legs. So more and more you'd feel as if you come to a tabletop height. Then inhale and lift up. If you feel confident enough, then taking the arms out wide and coming down to halfway. Then inhale, lift up. Feeling the stretch across the arms from the shoulders to the tip of the fingers. Exhale, coming forward. Bring the hands down so the palms face each other. And now you hold here and feel as if you pull the belly muscles up and in. Aiming to feel that in this pose you're actually strengthening your back muscles and allowing the buttock muscles to give a bit of a stretch. Then allow the body just to soften to the floor. Just little by little, allow the back of the neck to hang down. Then slowly roll the spine up, lifting the crown up, roll the shoulders up and back. And up and forward. Then walk the feet together and give another shake out, just loosening up. Now we're going to work with a little bit of a chair, a big chair, and I'm going to turn sideways so my students can see what we're doing. So I want you to come forward, sit on the edge of the chair. Where's my blocks? Now, if you've haven't got a block at home, maybe you might have a piece of wood. Not that you'd have it in the house. But as sitting on the edge, and you have your feet quite wide. So this is going to help your buttock muscles and the lower back. If you've got a very hard pillow, then maybe bring it between your feet. Then from here, we're going to come forward. Maybe just bring your elbows onto the knees. And just feel the stretch coming from the tailbone up to the back of the neck. So you feel as if you're leaning forward from the front of the rib cage. If you like to keep your arm on the elbow on your left, bring the right hand down and the spider position where your fingers are open and you're resting on the ball of your fingers. Now move the block or your pillow towards your left leg a little bit more. So in this position, you're starting to get a little bit more work on your right shoulder. Then move it across to the left. Oh, I did that first. And again, just pushing down with the ball of your fingers. Try to keep the knuckles bent. Then if you feel that you can go further, then bring the fingertips to the floor. Otherwise, keep your hand on the pillow or the block. And now feel a longer stretch through the back of the spine. Maybe you might feel it underneath the thighs, maybe on the top of the thighs, maybe in the hips. Then bring the elbow back to the knee, bring the block back in, and start to work on the right side. So you're stretching the left side of your arm down a little bit more. Then move it across to the left, and the same thing. You probably may not feel a stretch. You might feel quite at ease in this. If you'd like to go further, then bring the fingertips to the floor, just in the centre, and aim to reach out again. So it's lifting up through the front of the chest. Then bring the block back to the centre. Bring the elbow back to the knee, and just sitting up, and feel the front of the body now open. The next one is very similar. So what you're going to do is bring your right arm down and bring it on the outside of your left knee, or left ankle. So the hand is resting on, your left hand is resting on the left knee, and you're pulling yourself towards the knee. So the left shoulder goes to the ceiling. So it's another twist, and it's all coming from the buttock muscles. Then gently let go, use your hand to help you lift up, and we work the opposite side. So coming down, grabbing the ankle or the calf muscle, depending where it's comfortable for you to reach, and then pulling yourself so the shoulder lifts towards the ceiling. Then inhale, lifting up, using your arm to help you lift up on the knee. And now grabbing the chair from behind, wherever's comfortable for you, lift up through the front of the sternum. So the front of the spine is fully stretched. And then start to feel as if you can come forward a little bit. So it's giving you another stretch. Putting the shoulder blades together. So where you reach to is where you reach to. For me, it's comfortable in this position. Then gently let go. Come to stand up again. And this time, turning around to your chair, the front. Coming down to hold on the edge of the chair, just move your block away. And then to walk out. So keeping the feet in hip width wide, and aim to drop your ears between your arms. So as you give a long stretch, pulling up through the front of the legs, the back of the legs if you can. If you've got knee problems or hip problems, just bend the knees a little, and then straighten up. So it's a little bit of softening and teasing out with the muscles. Some of you might like to go down lower, so you hold the bottom rail, and again you work by lengthening as much as you can. Otherwise, coming back to the edge of the chair, trying to feel that you lengthen as much as possible. Then walking up to the chair, lifting up, round the shoulders, up and back. So we've done a little bit of a back stretch. Just let's move the chairs away a little. So, and then coming down on the knees. Now you may want to use your blocks. So getting them again. Bring them down on the side. Come down on your right knee. Now in this position, we're trying to stretch the leg fully out so the big toe is comfortable on the floor. If you need to, you bring the blocks just level with your knees, and if you need to, you can lunge into it. Otherwise, you have your hands on the knee, back toes are tucked under, elbows are softened into the waist. Then you inhale, straighten the leg, come forward a little bit, so you're stretching out through the front of the chest again. Inhale, lift up, exhale, lunge into it. So it's also aiming to balance. Inhale and straighten, trying to keep the big toe on the floor. Inhale, lift up, exhale, lunge again. Now you can release the arms, otherwise still holding on to your knees. So what you do is you lift up, allow the arms to hang. Let the body drop down a little bit more so you feel the stretch through the front of your right thigh. Then bring the hands back to the knee, straighten the leg, draw the toes up towards your head so you're opening out the back of the leg. Inhale, bring the foot back down and give the body a little bit of a TLC, just so you soften up even the front of the ankle. And then bring the foot back and to change over. Back toes are tucked under, hand is on the knee. And then lunging forward again. So you feel the stretch through the left side of the thigh this time. Inhale and straighten the leg. Inhale, lifting up, lunging down once more. Inhale and straighten the leg. Inhale, lift up. Next time we come into the lunge, allow the arms now just to hang down along the sides of the body. Or keep your hands on the block if you feel that you're going to lose balance. Maybe a chair nearby. Then bring the hands back to the knee and straighten the leg. Feel that you get a good stretch in the buttock muscles. Then pull the toes up towards your head, opening the back of the leg out a bit more. Bring the foot back down and some TLC. And bring them both knees together. Here we're going to come into a pose which I love teasing about, called Marijari Asana. So it's a cat pose. So imagine what your cat might look like. Then we work in the neutral position at this stage. Then exhale, hunch the back up so you're looking down between your knees. Then you inhale, stretch forward, and this is the dog tilt. You exhale, back into the cat tilt. Inhale through to the dog tilt. Exhale into the cat tilt. Inhale through to the dog tilt. Now turn to your left and have a look at your left foot. Inhale back and exhale over to the right. Inhale back, exhale left. So the hip moves out to the right. Inhale back, exhale left. Oh, right. Here I'm getting the teachers' left and rights mixed up. And over to the left again. Inhale back and over to the right. Inhale back. Now if you've got carpal tunnel problem, then you work down onto your elbows, aiming to try to part the fingers. So that's another way of working. Then coming back, tuck the toes under. Aim to have the hands flat if you can. And come up into downward dog with bent knees. Aiming to feel that you can put the weight through the arms. If this is difficult again, then you come down on the elbows and you lift up in that position. Coming back down. Going back into the downward dog pose, and then feel you can walk up to halfway, come up on the fingertips and walk the fingers back to your feet. Then inhale and roll the spine up, round the shoulders up and back. Now we're going to do a little bit wider so the feet are on the edge of your mat. The arms are still wide and the palms are turned up. Look across your shoulders to see if the arms are level. Now if you have a shoulder problem, then please drop the arm down when we do the movement. So I'm working now to the right side as the head goes to the left. Now if your left shoulder's lifting up off the floor, just drop the arm down and you'll find that the left hip will turn a little bit more to the ceiling. Then as you inhale to come back, you lift the arm back to shoulder height. That's if you're able to. Then over to the left side, head goes to the right, and again if the shoulder's lifting, just drop the arm down and feel the hip lifting up a lot more. Inhale, draw the arm back, shoulder height. This time draw the knees together. If you can, draw them to the chest, drop them over to the right side, keeping the knees together. Drop the arm down again if it's pulling in the shoulder. Then inhale, lift up. Soften on the tailbone. Then over to the left. My shoulder's lifting a little bit, so I need to drop it down. Aiming to keep the knees together. And inhale, lifting up. Again, just rocking on the tailbone. Level the shoulders once more. Then bring the arms around your knees, bringing the knees towards the chest and just a little bit of TLC. Then stretch the feet to the ceiling. Bend the knees if you've got back problems. So lower down through the heels. Once the heels touch, allow the body to soften. Then rolling over onto your right side, allow the bottom arm, actually I have to take my glasses off, and then bend the knee, the top knee, and come forward. So this time you're just softening with the hand in front of your chest or the face. preferably your chest. So here you're just easing out the top of the hip. And then pulling the leg back, rolling over onto your back, and over to the opposite side. I'm just going to look at my students to see how they're doing. Then dropping the leg forward, so you're getting a stretch. The bottom leg is straight. So this is working with the piriformis, aiming to get a stretch across the buttock muscles. Then bring the leg down. Come over onto the front of your hands if you're back into the cat pose. Then once more, tuck the toes under and coming up into downward dog. Walk the feet forward, the hands rolling up. And again, roll the shoulders up and back. So normally we have been doing some downward dog, the cat pose, we've been stretching the spine, and now we're just going to do a little bit more of twisting. So it's one way just to help the back and the kidneys and your liver, to give them a little bit of a wring out. So bring your left hand down behind the chair. The feet are comfortably parted. Do I work with my left or right? Lift your right arm up. Bring it over the left knee. Now aiming to drop the shoulder towards your left knee. Then turn the head out to the left. Drawing back. Stretch the arm out and up. Bring it down. Take the left one up and over to the right. Aiming to drop the arm down as far as you can go. Drawing the shoulder towards the knee. Aiming to lift the right shoulder towards the ceiling. Look out to your right. Draw the head back. Lift the arm out and up and over and down. What we're going to do now, and I'm going to use my two students to help me, is a back bend, and it's a slight back bend. So I'm going to get them to lie down on the floor and I'm going to help them. So if you wouldn't mind, on your belly. Now they're lying on their belly. Aim to have your forehead on the floor so your chin is tucked into your throat. Now aim to bring your arms in underneath the body, so feel as if you roll them in and down. So aiming to try and get the elbows in as much as you can. The arms are lengthened, so the hands are underneath your thighs. Now bend the knees and have the heels to the ceiling. Try to keep the knees close together and then feel that you can lift the right knee up off the floor a little. So just using your hand to lift the knee up. Then exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the left one up, using your hand, and lower down. Now bring the chin out onto the floor and see if you can lift both knees up off the floor. Now this might be a little bit harder and it's stronger in the lower back, but keeping the knees close together as you can. Then lower back down as you exhale. Draw the forehead in so the chin is tucked into the chest. Lower the heels down to the floor. Just rock on the front of your hips and just you'll feel that you're softening the buttock muscles and the hip joint. Untuck your toes. Now keeping the legs together, we'll work with what is called Salambhasana, the locust pose. So from here, you inhale, lift the legs up off the floor. You can use the hands to just help you if you want to lift the legs up. Otherwise, keep the arms just out from the sides a little and the back of the hands on the floor. Then lifting the front of the chest. Aim to feel that the hips, that the feet are a little bit closer together. Just adjusting your position as you go. Then lower back down and draw the forehead back in. Soften on the front of the hips just to release the lower back if you feel any strain. Now perhaps, if you can, trying for the full bow. So bend the knees again. See if you can clasp the ankles or the front of your feet. Oh, good, Jimmy. If you can clasp, then you inhale, lift the chest up off the floor and push the feet away from you if you can feel the front of the chest lifting. Then lower back down, draw the forehead in, release your legs. Again, rock on the front of the hips just to soften. Then stretch the right arm up, push with the left knee or chest. Bring the right arm right up. Bend the left arm, have the palm flat on the floor, near the chest. Push on your left hand to roll over onto your back. Draw the knees to the chest and round and soften the spine. As we've just finished the bow pose, now we're going to go into an alternative shoulder stand. So one of the things is that a lot of the time we're not getting high up on the shoulders, and sometimes people are very wary in their neck. So one of the things now, what I'd like you to do is to bend your knees, and I'm going to bring the chair around so you can put your feet on the chair. From here, you might have to adjust it a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is to bring the chair so you're holding on to the legs. So you might have to move the bottom in or... Yeah. So as you hold on to the chair, legs, bend your knees so the feet are close to the edge of the chair, or just perhaps on. Maybe you might feel you have to adjust it a little bit. So the edge of the chair is the front edge of the chair. So can I just adjust the chair? Bring this back a little bit. Then holding on to the legs, bring your feet just a little bit more over. Then pull yourself up so your bottom is off the floor. That's it. Then you can walk the feet back towards the edge of the chair and come up a little bit higher. If you feel that you can let go of the chair and support your back, then please do that. So you need to interlace the fingers to do that and stretch the arms down, then support your back. Otherwise, just still hold the edge of the chair. Feel that you can lift the bottom up a little bit higher. Bring your hands up and support your back so the palms are facing to the back. Very good. As you feel the front of the body lift, the aim here is to feel that there's a tightness in the neck, so the chin and the chest are close together. Then releasing the hands back to the floor and rolling the spine back down. Undo the hands. Keep the knees to the chest and just round the spine. So holding on to your knees and just softening from side to side. Then we're going to work with the fish pose. So stretch the feet to the ceiling, lower down through the heels. Bend your knees a little and roll the arms well in underneath your body. So you're aiming to sit on the back of your hands and the elbows tucked in as much as you can. Stretch the legs out once again. So you're fully flat, lying on your arms. The next position of this is to open the front of the throat. So you're keeping the head back, bend your elbows and lift the chest only to the ceiling. So coming up as high as you can, as if you're putting the weight on your forearms and lifting the chest up. And then sliding out and down. Release the arms from underneath. Lift the head up to look at your toes. And roll the back of the neck down. So we're going to do the fish pose now. And that is the counter pose to a little bit of the shoulder stand variation that we did. So bending the knees, roll the arms well in underneath, even lifting up the bottom, just to do that. Then stretching the legs out once more. Then taking an in-breath. As you exhale, lifting up, allowing the head to hang back. So sometimes there's a little bit of adjustment by drawing the elbows in a little bit more if you can. As you allow the head to hang back, you're opening the front of the throat, squeezing the back of the neck to help the parathyroid glands. This is working with the mineral salts of your body. As you lower back down, releasing the hands from underneath, allowing the body to soften. Then lifting the head up to look at your toes, and exhaling, rolling the neck back down. Now we're going to do a little bit of breath work. It's called pranayama. And this is quite a simple pose where we're sitting comfortably cross-legged. I have a block to help my knee, which is not on the floor, it's actually to help my hip. So we're going to work with what is called the Suka breath. It is a 4-count breath, which is supposed to be a normal rhythm breath. We visualize a square, and on the square we start from the bottom left-hand side. We inhale for 4 going up. We hold the breath across the top. Coming down on the right-hand side, we exhale, and along the bottom of the square, we hold our breath. Well, actually, it's with no breath. It's a pause. So feeling it, you can either allow the eyes to close so you can visualize your square. So working with the Suka breath, if you want to close your eyes, that's fine. You can also leave them open. So I find closing the eyes just helps me visualize the square. So inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Along the bottom, pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold along the top, 3, 4. Exhale, right, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Doing 1 round by yourself in silence. Feeling nice and calm, give the eyes a good blink. Feel a little bit more refreshed and calmer. We're now going into a little bit of relaxation. This will only be around 5 minutes, so if you feel that you like to have a blanket around you, please do. One under the neck perhaps, or even if you like to have a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees. So I may just help my students to see what they would like. So keeping a bolster underneath your knees.
I'm fine.
Great. So in this way, the knees are bent if you're using a bolster. And one of the things we do is just have the knees out to the side a little bit on the bolster, and the foot soles coming a little bit closer together. Allow the back of the neck to lengthen so the chin is drawn towards the chest. The palms are turned up as the shoulders are pulled down. Allow the heels to be close together if they're lying flat, and let the ball of the foot roll out. So one of the things is to try and feel that you allow the breath to come and go as the body dictates. Feeling a softness as you allow the back of the neck to feel that it's comfortable on the floor. The back of the head, allowing the skin to feel as if it separates a little bit. And then feel that you allow the eyes to soften. The eyelids are closed over the eyes. The tongue settling down into the bottom of the palate. The tip of the tongue curled up behind the teeth. Allow the jaw to be slack. And now feeling as if the shoulder blades are just softening to the floor. The rib cage, you may feel as if it spreads a little on the floor as it softens down. The buttock muscles, allowing them to spread out a little bit, soften down. The back of the thighs, back of the knees, calf muscles soften. The heels of the feet, toes of the feet soften. The back of the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, back of the hands, even the palm of the hands, all the fingers. Letting go as you feel the whole of the back softening even more towards the earth's energy. While the front of the body just slowly, as if it's sinking down towards the bones, but feeling a lightness at the same time. As if you're almost lying on an ocean wave, feeling the ebb and the flow of the breath coming in and flowing out. Little by little, the sun shining down, a feeling of peace and calmness. Just letting go of what has been. And now begin to deepen the breath a little, coming back as you draw the consciousness back into the body. Deepening the breath again as you stimulate the heart, returning energy once more. Then on the next in-breath, stretching out through the fingers, the palm of the hands, feel as if they open out. Wriggle the toes, soften the feet, and then gently bend the knees, draw them together, roll over to the side of your body, curling up on the side. And coming to stand up. Stretching tall, lift the arms up, bring the palms together, down through your energy as you draw the arms down to the chest with the palms together. I think we need to start that one again. Okay. So coming out of that, standing, lifting the arms up to the ceiling as the palms come together. Draw down the hands through your energy. As you bow forward a little, bring your fingertips to the forehead and then to your heart. So it is a higher self to your higher self. My higher self out to your higher self. And bowing forward a little bit, namaste. which is what it means, from my higher self to your higher self. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to mention during this time that we're going through to really look after yourself, particularly your own family. But it's also more important that we look after our health. So keep up your yoga as much as you can. You know the basics, and I'm feeling that you have been with me many years and you know it. So be confident in yourself and keep well. Thank you.